Today I'd like to talk about what I call sticking possibilities, basically how we execute different sticking combinations. When you think about drumming, right, it's made up of singles and doubles. I mean, if it's just combinations of singles and doubles. We can add some color to that by the use of accents. So, we can play double stroke rolls, and there's no accents involved, right? So we're playing everything basically from, depending on the volume of the roll, either from a very low position or a higher position. But there's no change in the dynamic. The dynamic stays fairly constant, unless there was a crescendo where we brought the roll higher and lower. But for the most part, each stroke is at an equal value. So that's one approach. However, if we wanted to play louder, as I mentioned, it's just a matter of moving the stick height. So we play softly, we play close proximity to the surface of the drum. We want to play louder, we just come up higher. But if we want to get the relative dynamic between one stroke and the other different, then we need a concept for being able to do that so that our hands are always in the right place at the right time. Okay, that's what this is what this discussion really is all about. So I'm going to talk about a concept that I really first came across in a book by Gary Chafee called Sticking Patterns several years ago. And in the book, under section 1, Gary defines it as basic sticking possibilities, and he goes through this concept of full strokes and downstrokes for accented notes, and taps and upstrokes for non-accented notes. So let's talk a little bit more about that and kind of understand and put it in perspective, okay? Again, if I were playing just a single double stroke roll with no accents and I was playing it softly, I would play close to the surface, okay? And really everything is just a tap. I'm just thinking down and I'm playing double strokes, okay? Now, that changes though if I have to employ an accent. So let's use the example of a single paradiddle for, starting with the sticking would be right, left, right, left, left, and the first beat of each paradiddle is accented. So it's right, which is accented, then left, right, left, left. So I start out with the accent, non-accent, followed by two more non-accents. However, to position myself for the second accent, if I start in this position, I'm up for the accent, I play a downstroke. Now I need to position my left hand to be ready for the next accent, so I use an upstroke and then two taps. Now I'm ready for the other side. So here's my upstroke, my downstroke, my upstroke, and my two taps. When I put those together, I'm always in the right place at the right time. Down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap. The only thing that's going to change as I get faster is my stick height's going to get lower, as opposed to, in other words, the range of motion is going to be a lot shorter. But otherwise, the hand motion, the down, up, tap, tap, is going to stay the same. So the question then should be, well, when do I deploy what? How do I use a downstroke, full stroke, a tap, and an up? And the way we do that, the way we analyze that, is we think of a full stroke as an accent followed by an accent. So if I'm going to play an accent on the right and the next right is an accent, then I want to play it as a full stroke, so I'm in position for the next accent. However, if I'm playing the accent on the right and the next right is a non-accent, then I play that as a tap. I'm sorry, as a down. Okay, so there's my downstroke. So I have a full stroke and a downstroke. Now, if I go to non-accents, I can either play those as taps or as ups. And why would I use one or the other? Well, if my right is playing a tap followed by another right playing a tap, then I'm just going to play tap, tap. Non-accent followed by non-accent. However, if the non-accent is now followed by an accent, then I need to have an upstroke to position myself for the accent. So it's up, down, up, down, up, down. Or if it was a non-accent followed by two accents, it could be up, full, full, down. Up, full, full. Again, up, full, full. Okay? So that's how I determine when I use the one or the other. Okay? So if we use one more example, we use double paradiddle. It'll be right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. I'm going to use one accent on the first beat. So it'll be a down, tap, tap, up, tap, tap. Now I did the upstroke, so I'm positioned for the second double paradiddle, which starts on my left. Now it'll be down, tap, tap, up, tap, tap, or right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, right. So that's the way I use those 4 particular groupings. Now, as you get more fluent with this, and as the tempo becomes more increased, the upstroke really becomes a fluid motion. So you don't have to think of it as really just pulling the stick back up. It's really the stick is in motion. But thinking in terms of the upstroke gets me positioned for the next downstroke. So that's really what the key to this whole thing is. So in Dom Familaro's book, he goes through a fairly decent explanation of that in a book called It's Your Move. He refers to that as the formal way of playing. In other words, it's all wrist action. Wrist action controlling those motions. However, if we need to increase tempo or we need a little more power, we can deploy a whipping motion to that. And that's referred to as a Moeller stroke. Now, where this really comes in handy is when we're talking about control rebounds and pullouts. Control rebounds are accents followed by non-accents. Again, you can do this in the formal way, where you're basically just using a wrist stroke, or if you need a little more power, you can whip that downstroke. And the way we do that then is we relax the hand, and when we come down after the accent, we just release, we put very little pressure on the fulcrum. We release the fulcrum, and we let the stick essentially drop. So that's called a control rebound. The converse to that would be where we play a non-accent followed by an accent. Again, we could play that in the formal way, which would be up, down, up, down. But if you want to get more speed, you want to get a little more power, then you can use the whipping motion. And what you're doing is you're playing the non-accent on the way up. And then you're whipping down the accent. And again, remember after you whip, you relax the hand. Up, down, 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 up, down. Okay, so it's the way I'm doing that, I'm basically pulling up on the wrist. As the stick goes down, I'm playing that stroke on the way up. So the tap is happening here, and then I whip down. So that's called the informal way of playing. So if you want to practice all of this stuff, there's a great book out by George Lawrence Stone called Accents and Rebounds, and there's a host of exercises in that book. If you don't have that book, but you say you have stick control, you could put your own accents into stick control, and then use the analysis that we went through for determining whether it's an up or down or tap or a full, and you can make up your own set of examples. So I highly recommend you give this a try. I firmly believe it'll take your playing to a whole different level. It's been a tremendous advantage to me. I've used it with my students. They've gotten a lot out of using this approach. Once you're used to this concept, again, muscle memory takes over, and you do less of the analysis in terms of where the hands are. It just becomes sort of an automatic reaction, if you will. It becomes second nature to the way you play. So anyway, I hope that was useful, and give it a try. Thanks.